the trend from Java and Fakey, but Maid and Experience are so good.
Well, you want to catch them all and you want to collect them all. They want to collect this trophy this weekend and see if they can make it happen as we're in top 12 just to qualify for top 8. We have that Java and Fakey versus Maid and Experience set starting right now.
And this is a little bit interesting. We're going to have the Finn the Human, aka Epic crossover skin for Jala on Java. And a lot of the time when you see someone pick that legend in twos, you're like, all right, well, your movement better be on point. Right now for Java, not quite looking that way, to be fair, but I do believe he has the ability.
So interesting because he went from Bodvar over to Hattori for a good amount of time and now back to this. But the consistent thing is you always see a sword in the mix at some point, and that's what's been so good for him over time. Trading off the hammer for axe, definitely going to work too. He's got the KO power, but it's all about Fakey lining things up for him with that Kaya. That's how things usually go south once you see that end sync from sword kick in.
I always say Java has the best sword in Brawlhalla. I will not hesitate to say that. He just optimizes in a way that other players have yet to catch on to, and I'm looking to see that gameplay come out right now as he picks one up. But Fakey just kind of holding the corner right here as both members of the blue team are on deep red, but haven't quite taken that final blow.
Maid and Experience, we talked about, they put on a show just before, and the rocking the new hotness of this team. And they're making it work regardless. And Experience always had that experience on Cannon too, so it's not like he's out of familiarity here, but he's going to fall quickly to Fakey, and Fakey consistently still holding on to that ledge, refusing, not caring at all about how much damage he has.
And something that I love that I'm seeing from Java and Fakey is their comfort in using misdirection as a way to find hits. There are moments here where Java is getting chased by Experience, chased by Maid, and he just weaves out the way, and you see very casually Fakey comes and pulls up and just hits them for it.
Yep, and that'll frustrate you because you think that you have an opportunity to finally make a play, and he's always right there. Woo! What a volley though, bouncing him, dribbling him off the south platform to get the KO off the top.
Yeah, not something you see every day for certain, but Experience will find a way here as we get another KO off the sidelight recovery off the top from Maid onto Java. This has not been Java's game one.
Not at all. I mean, the Halo rocket launcher right there working. Oh, it feels like oddball for Java at the moment, just being juggled and passed around, but he needs to figure it out. That, of course, Java being one of the big KO options here because you got the defense build for Kaya, but you need Java the beater to follow up, and they're doing an amazing job of separating the two.
Oh, and I love the interrupt we saw right there off the sideline air conversion. Every time Fakey's going for these bow recoveries, he keeps getting interrupted, and these would be KOs.
That's what you need. Make sure you're on top of it. Make sure you help out your teammate. But sometimes your teammate's right there with you, but you still got a full meal. You may have hit him, but you got the double KO still to get rid of both, and now Fakey has to fight a terribly difficult position.
Yeah, I mean, that cannon ground pound is just so wide. A lot of the times against a lot of ground pounds in the game, you can decide, can I hug wall or do I let go? But against cannon ground pound, you already saw it right there. It's so wide, it don't care.
And he ends up getting, look, Experience was looking for the clip, said, I want that. Ends up getting the team KO instead, but that is at least one more to help out for Fakey. You'll take that every day of the week.
No conversion right there, but Experience goes for the dash jump ground pound. You can see that Fakey, you know, still trying to make it happen here, despite being behind by a fair amount. Can't quite get the job done. That ground pound from Experience is going to close out that game one, but I'm very curious if Java's going to stay on that Jala going into game two, because admittedly from my bird's eye view watching the thing there, I don't know how much it was contributing to that game one. And it's not the character per se, but even if you were playing someone with like a little bit more defense, it might spell something different.
I'll give you the answer to that. It wasn't a lot of contributing at all. It was, and that wasn't even just Java, that was Maid as well. Both of them. Java 223, Maid just cracking 300. It was the Experience show. 719 damage. We mentioned earlier when he is feeling confident, things go bad, and that's exactly what you don't want going back in this game number 2.
The amount of times I've been sitting behind the desk and I've had to say, it was the Experience show. I mean,
it was almost the Experience show again. Almost got the double ground pound.
Wait, hold on, it ain't over.
Sneaking underneath. Actually, it's still going. Nobody has touched the stage up until that point for such a long time. Java does get the chase dodge up, though. He gets out. They still fighting on the left side. They finally get out of that situation.
Experience is smashing ground pound, perhaps getting a little bit too haphazard here, but that recovery from Java actually ended up assisting Maid to getting back to the stage, and Experience going a little bit too well, what a save!
This has been an interesting start to this match. A majority of it has actually been fall off stage. Experience falls by going a little bit too hard out there, but he does not get the KO actually off the top. Looking for that nair. Will he be able to close it out here? Java trying to go for the save with the D-Light, but he sneaks right by. But it's not too far off regardless because both of the red team are pretty deep here.
Yeah, and it's interesting that you say that because Experience also one of the best players in the game at playing off stage when he's playing confident, but Java also routinely known for being one of the best players off stage. So I'm not too surprised that they had that entire bout in the beginning of the game to just like, I think I'm better than you. It was just a statement of who thinks they have the larger ego.
Yeah, and if it's kind of true, it's like, which one's the better Pavelski right now?
Yeah, for real.
So good at going deep off stage, but you never know when they might end up throwing it themselves. Java and Fakey, though, they really needed that opportunity, even with that damage, to try and put some damage on themselves. It was evened up pretty quickly, but it looks like that's not being a huge factor, but still Java, in the mix of it, he may not be getting hit too much right now, but he hasn't had too much to put on the table himself. It's mostly been Fakey.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, what Java, I feel like, is doing is playing a little bit more of a support role, is leaning more into those end lights on that sword, and you throw out a D-light here and there to see, hey, can I get a pass to my teammate? Oh, this could be really bad. Java manages to find a way, might get an edgeguard on one. Experience with the turnaround, may try to come down here, but it does end up being Experience who manages to survive. Maid, on the other hand, does fall.
The amount of times the blue team has taken each other out, it's actually been pretty often, and that's going to help them out because even though Java may not be getting as many hits, he's the one who hasn't lost that as many stocks. That's going to help you out mentally. Right now, they need to line something up, though. They're just 2v1ing Fakey over and over again.
Yeah, it's not looking, not the cleanest gameplay in terms of like team damage and whatnot this time around, but is in the favor of Java and Fakey. We see a side sig attempt here. Experience manages to dodge through, gets a yeet right below, and a sig as well. This is a scrap for sure.
Fakey right there to go ahead and reduce that knockback, get that hit in, and allow his teammate to stay right there in center. Recovery won't be enough to get him off the top, though, and Experience already kind of bleeding out a little bit himself. He's going to be able to go in, trying to go for the nair, but instead ends up getting hit.
And now it's looking really bad for Team Blue here. As Maid and Experience are in the deep red on their final stocks in this game too. That's going to be a yeet. We're going to go ahead and wave goodbye to Maid as Experience is trying to make magic happen. Gets caught by that end light. Likely going to get edge guarded here. Makes a way around. The weapon throw scary, but manages to get the cheekiest down air. Oh, okay.
He went all the way down there to try and get a panic option, but it didn't work. Recovery won't be enough just yet, but Experience can definitely make this happen. Not going to be the case though, as that sider takes it out and Java closes the, just seals the deal.
Yeah, no, it was one of those situations where it was like, it wasn't a close 2v1, but if Experience was able to get that KO, then it was a matter of, despite the fact that you have a full stock, if I get one dodge read, you know what Cannon does, wink. And then I was like, all right, cool. Couldn't get there though.
We bring it up all the time, but it is something you have to be fearful always because it could happen. And Experience, like you said, is one of the most aggressive people off stage when he is feeling confident. It can happen at any given moment, especially when your teammates are already in the red. So you got to be super careful, and they were able to make that happen as we get that 1-to-1 set.
Right now, here we go. Fakey trying to throw out all of these hitboxes here. Experience trying to get these neutral airs to go ahead and eat somebody down. It's not going to work here. You can see how aggressive he's being though, because it's like all these whiffs, what hits is Experience taking for? I whiffed the neutral air. Okay, I'm going to do it again. I'm a ground pound. Okay, whatever. No one's really making him feel the pain for going for these, you know, somewhat risky options. And so because of that, I won't be surprised if we see even more offstage play, but a beautiful pass from Java onto Fakey manages to get both of them, I believe, with that down signature. And now, holding the corner. Oh no, Fakey steps a little bit too far forward.
Starting to think some of that confidence for Fakey, by the way, is coming in from the fact that Java really picked it up towards the end of that match, especially. He put on way more damage. He's right in the midst of everything. And it looks like he has now removed that first game kind of jitter, and he's back in all of this. And Experience struggling a little bit to try and help Maid out, and he's going to get caught for trying to hit Fakey over on the side.
And Java got a beautiful down sig there as well. Manages to get the ground pound, stuffs out the recovery. Could be a ground pound attempt, but no one in position to go ahead and try to close it out on Maid. But Java now playing a much more simple game, right? Played a lot of that axe, got great mileage there. Going to switch on over to the sword in just a bit, but hasn't been going for any wild extensions. Just says, I'm gonna get one hit, I'm gonna get two, I'm gonna get out.
I think the most wild play he went for was that slide cancel side air off the stage with the axe, but that's about it. He's mostly been stage control machine, which is great because you're allowing Kaya to be the one to try and get a little aggressive off stage. But here comes the Maid getting in the middle of that. They do get rid of Java. Experience looking for the ground pound. They covered coverage. Oh, they covered everything, but there goes Java to get out there.
Oh, he drops the ground pound conversion. That was a true conversion that was dropped there, but still manages to get the Twinkle Toes a save from Fakey onto Java. They're coming back here. You can see Maid trying to get back onto the stage, and everyone manages to survive. Psych, the Ensing, a double, a wipe for Team Red. How did they come out on top in that exchange?
I have absolutely no clue. I thought somehow nobody was going to get KO'd in the midst of all that, but it was the red team who get the job done after what was an incredible double up from Maid and Experience. That's going to hurt the mental a little bit. They got to make sure they put that there in the back pocket and don't let that mess with them as the match continues.
I mean, that was ridiculous. I mean, you got to give props to both teams there, though, right? They both responded with the correct options to what seemed like really hard situations to deal with, but they were able to find the little needle in the haystack to make sure that they didn't get checkmated effectively.
All you need sometimes is just to grab that needle and pull that one thread and everything derails, and hopefully you can make sure you keep it that way. But they are going to answer back one apiece. Very important after that whole situation. They only got into the orange. They minimized the damage there in that last stock.
And barely into the orange as well, man. They are sitting here relatively healthy, and of course Onyx, definitely a character with a fair amount of defense, Zariel as well, and so we'll see how they're able to answer back. Fakey going for a down sig read on a dodge in, doesn't get it, but it would have been bad for the blue team there, and especially on final stock scenarios. I don't blame you for reading a dodge in because people want to be on the stage so bad.
And be very wary of Java starting to let that neutral stick rip. Experience going in, gonna get a quick punish there from that side air from Fakey, but they need to get grounded ASAP. They need a team combo. They're trying to at least push one off so they can go for a 2v1 on stage.
Oh my goodness, the chase dodge was perfectly timed from Experience to avoid that punish. This could be the swing they were looking for, but Java is just getting all of the stage control to make sure that Fakey can get back.
Look at the damage now. Everything is even. We've gone from what was that lead to now Experience is gonna fall off the top, but Maid has a perfect time to be able to make it happen too. He needs to catch just one of them slipping. Brings the 1v1, but it won't happen as the Spear Recovery takes it and they move up 2-1.
Yeah, I think the tough part about that one is we saw the Zariel Ensing catch in the red, but once again, in Brawlhalla, once you connect with the stage during knockback, you take reduced knockback, and it led to it not KOing. And so they ended up being a 2v1 scenario instead of a 1v1 scenario, which has been a lot easier to come back from. And so now we're playing on the back foot here. Java and Fakey looking like they're trying to keep that streak that they've had thus far alive.
Here's the strength each team has had so far. The blue team has been incredible at pressuring off stage, but the red team has been better at finishing the job. That's 2 games in a row where Java got over 650 damage, and Fakey was saving him every time he got caught up in a combo. You are getting your damage, and you're stopping the blue team from finishing it. They have to make sure that they pay attention to Fakey, or Java for that matter, when they're lining up those T combos if they want to get the job done.
Yeah, you can't catch strays from Java. It's effectively the same thing as taking a stray from Teros. That's how hard that Jala hits, right? And so, I mean, and even right there, we saw an interrupt, but the damage was taken. You know, it's stuff like that where it's like, you need to collapse on Java as soon as possible.
And great awareness right there too from Java, just to go up and get that nair to give Fakey a little bit of distance, but it doesn't matter because they got not one, but they finished it that time. Nobody in the way to interrupt it.
Yeah, just exactly what you needed there. Grabbed him by the collar and took out the trash. And now we have ourselves a decent lead for Maid and Experience as they're trying to force the game 5, but a side signature from Java brings things closer to even.
They already showed they can bring it to game 5 and get the W as they did just previously to this set, so maybe Maid and Experience give us that same exact show one more time.
Let's see, you can see Maid actually doing a little bit of an empty hop into the neutral light to catch the landing right there. Great stuff, but one stray hit isn't going to be enough to go ahead and bring things still in your favor, but we'll see.
Good evasiveness right there from Maid. Both of them doubling up the slide cancel, desing off stage, and Java as well. Experience always there off stage. Go for it. There's the nair. It's a big opportunity, but he does not capitalize. He aimed the wrong way.
Yeah, it looked like he may have thought he was off stage and was going to get a ground pound or something, but ended up getting the down signature. But there we go, now doing it when he wants it. It doesn't connect, but it forces them to recover high, and you can see Maid manages to capitalize on that scenario.
Apox soft platform right there, giving him a little bit of reprieve to get through to. Fakey going for the extender with that nair after the D-Light Sair. Well, he's not able to get it right. Regardless, though, Java gets caught up in the mix, and we might be getting that much closer to that game 5.
Yeah, it's looking like it, and you can see Experience is doing a lot of either I'm going to carry people with my cannon off to the side and then play this game where they're trying to be below me. That's all Experience wants. He said, I want you below me, whether it's me or it's Maid. We've been rocking these gauntlets, these cannons. We do great from this position. There's a down air again. Stay below.
Just barely missing the KO on Java really early down there, too. That would have been a detriment.
Nice.
Fakey's going to get put into sweat beads nowhere near the wall, so now they have an opportunity to power play against Java, but he gets back on.
They're sitting there unarmed, fighting on the side, and they're gonna lose a stock because of it, as we do have, you know, Experience finally getting armed a little bit here, gets interrupted on that down air by a Pogo, has an opportunity here, might go for a neutral air on the ground, no, gets the ground pound instead. Fakey has to be careful, gets caught by Java on the save, and that's the thing, you can't look at one player for too long because the other one's gonna be there swinging.
Java was perfectly ready for when he finally poked his head above that ledge, too. Now everyone on one stock apiece. This is the difference between we see that game 5 from Experience Maid or not. And right now it's looking like Java and Fakey are starting to pick it up.
This might be the chance. Experience is just looking for that one straight hit off stage to force the stock to be taken, but so much immaculate defense coming on the side of the red team. This could potentially be it here. Java gets caught by the neutral air. That should be the stock unless the save happens for Fakey, and the save is there. No one's just there to stop it.
What an incredible job from Fakey getting all the way down there to make sure that didn't get away, but Maid gets rid of Fakey. Java has both Maid and Experience deep in the red, though, so it could happen. That's not going to happen, though, as back-to-back game 5s happen here for Maid and Experience.
This is that part of bracket I was talking about, Ajax. I said banger after banger after banger after. It's just like they are adapting in real time. We're watching it before our very eyes as these competitors figure out what the small adjustments they need to make to their game plan, how they adjust their autopilots as well to make sure that they can stay alive in this bracket.
Not just banger of sets, but they are throwing hands.
It's true.
It has not been a slow pace set whatsoever, and that is exactly what we want to see as Experience answers back with his own 600 plus damage game. Maid is always there to at least help him out. As long as you are getting the W in the column, that's all that matters. Maximizing your damage where you can. They're right in the fray the whole time. They're not giving up, and we are seeing them maybe do it one more time, where game 1, it didn't look too hot. Game 5 still ends up happening.
And this one would be, I think, probably one of the best dubs that they could get, because Java and Fakey have been on a hot
back-to-back. Going back-to-back as the champs. That is their 2 gold medals. And you could be the one to help stop that, because the amount of monsters that are in the Elim side of bracket is not going to be fun for anyone. It's the end of days again for someone's winner side life. Who will be playing off in that top 8 position?
It's going to be Java and Fakey. Is it going to be Maid and Experience? Java's already showing why he's some of the best, if not the best, sword player in the world with that D-Light into the ground pound conversion very early on, saying, I know how to get my maximum damage off of a hit, but how many opportunities will he get to do that? Gets hit by his partner there. It can be a hard space around that bow sidelight. But with that said, I mean, Experience and Maid are taking their time looking for their openings. Oh, Java almost got a quick one.
Java went hunting for it all the way in the skies. If he got that recovery, we would have been seeing an early one go away from Maid, but instead Maid finds his way back down. Maid just looking to try and get in between so Experience can find that D-Light starter and get something going, but they haven't been able to find it yet.
They're looking, Java is playing so much better. I mean, throughout the set, I mean, there's the team combo we've been looking for. We haven't gotten much of those because the interrupts have been so phenomenal throughout the course of the set. But finally, that one that we see there could, in the grand scheme of things, make the difference. Can Maid and Experience answer back?
Maid just trying to hold on to the stock as long as he can so they can get some more damage, and you want to utilize that. The end light will have something to say about that.
Who gets caught by the twinkle toes? Double twinkle toes. Experience manages to get the wall touch though, so we're okay. We're back in business. Goes for the ground pound. It doesn't connect. Both members of the blue team are stuck on the left side. They need to get rid of Java. He's doing too good of a job controlling space right now.
Talked about it before. Every time they win, it's usually Java dominant games with those 600 plus damage each, and he is right in the middle of it all. They have had a very difficult time fighting, and yet another save from Fakey. I think that's number 7 on the board for the set.
Every single time they get a hit, there is an interrupt, a punish, and it's like when you're trying to bring yourself back into the game, you need unanswered hits. One of the problems with Zariel is how long those signatures take to go, and so you have a guaranteed KO right in front of you. Up, No, you don't. It gets snatched away from you.
And if you're in a situation and you're constantly shutting it down, much like they've been doing so far, they finally get the job done. But look at how much damage they took after they finally get them to fall.
Yeah, and I mean, that was after that weapon throw that we saw on another interrupt. They are so consistent with the experience. He had an opportunity to get two there. They still might have a chance on Java.
They can make this happen.
He has to get someone with his ground pound. Nobody gets caught. He hits his partner, but it's okay. They make it back to the stage, but that could have been the massive swing they needed. I don't know if they'll get another opportunity like that.
I thought Halloween was over because that was a whole jump scare. That was a horror movie that they had inbound, but they still get rid of Fakey, and they get rid of Java. That big lead that they had has disappeared.
Just like that. Two quick ones. You know they're getting that 112, baby, as they come down to the final moments of Game 5. They have so much damage racked up. At this point, Java and Fakey just need two individual hits, maybe one from the same person on the two people. And look at this! And Experience goes for the trade! He knows that it's worth it! And now, Fakey, all by his lonesome, has to do the Lord's work, but I don't know if he's religious.
Worth every time. That is the best case scenario you could have asked for if you were Maid Experience after being behind. Fakey has no one else to be able to save him because he's gonna fall, and Maid Experience popping off as they should, as they bring it all the way back from being behind so far in that match, but once again back to back game number 5s to shut it down and get them that seat back in winner stopping.
Look at that pop-off from Experience, and you know I got it like that, boy. You know it. You know it. What an immaculate display. That last sequence we saw, you can't allow the volcano to erupt like that, because once he finds that momentum, once Vesuvius erupts, the people of Pompeii, spoiler alert, did not survive.